In this video, I'm going to be building a Touring Spec 80 for no money. Well, not quite, but it's going to be a very budget build. You see, I did a couple of videos last year because that 80 series over there is worn out. And end story, I bought this 80 to replace it. Here at Mad Matt 4Drive, I'm all about educating and building the four-wheel drive community so we can wheel well. You know what, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can get those notifications as well. So yes, this 80 series is absolutely worn out. It's suffering. The whole front clip here is busting off the 80 series. The panels, the radiator mounts, the body mounts, they're all cracking. The C-pillars on both sides are cracking, and on one side it's starting to crack up through the roof. So it is in a pretty bad state of repair. The mechanicals are generally speaking pretty good, barring the automatic, which I cooked at Christmas time up on a beach run, and it needs a freshen up. But aside from that, it's a pretty good vehicle. It's got a lot of accessories and it's set up the way I want it. So I put out the call to you, my YouTube audience, what should I do? And the suggestion overwhelmingly was buy a Grandpa Spec 80 series and swap all of my gear from that into this. So you see, aside from that one being worn out, I also needed a vehicle that can tow my 80 series race car. Yeah, I like the 80 series, okay? So this one doesn't have the tow rating for New South Wales, Australia, that one does. That one can tow a heavier load by 1,000 kilos, so 3,500 kilo towing capacity. I know you guys in America are laughing at us right now. Yeah, we got stupid tight rules here in Australia and it's annoying, and we're a nanny state, and sometimes I think I want to move over there and wheel with you guys. But hey, it is where I live. So anyway, so that's the story. All of the stuff on that now has to go into this 80 series. So this video series, and I don't know how long this is going to last because I'm just going to do videos every day I work on these vehicles, is going to be a series where we're going to follow the build. We're going to see me strip this one out. I'm basically thinking I'm going to just start stripping it out and put all the stuff I want into a pile, and all the stuff I can sell, I'm going to sell off, and we're going to see how cheap we can build an 80 series Touring Spec Land Cruiser and you know, go from there. So how about we start with, I'll take you for a little tour on this one. So I'll flip the camera around, I'll get on the other side, and we'll go for a walk, eh, and see where we're up to. Righto, so when I bought this motor was not happy. It had a burnt exhaust valve, so I got the cylinder head done up and all of that. Now, I did the work myself. I just got a head shop to actually do the head job on it. So that cost me about 700 Australian dollars. And what else? Oh, the battery. I needed to put a battery in it. The battery was stuffed. Aside from that, as you can see, it's a pretty clean engine bay. It did have the LPG gas system in here, but I've taken all of that system out. So I have done a little bit of work on this prior to this, but that was because I just wanted to understand the vehicle a bit more. It's got a brand new radiator in it from the previous owner, so that's a nice start. The viscous coupling on that hub is stuffed, but I've got a new Toyota genuine hub in the old girl over there. I only put that in about 6 months ago, so I'll swap that into here to give me a good cooling system. If ever you have a overheating issue on an 80 series Land Cruiser, or any vehicle for most part, very good chance it's that viscous coupling is involved. On the Toyotas, you can top them up with a little bit of silicone that you get from the dealership. Oftentimes that gets you out of trouble. I find even with the genuine brand new Toyota ones, an extra tube of silicone helps them out a whole heap. So a couple of tips there. So when I got this, the bull bar was right there. It was smashed into something or other, previous owner. So I got rid of that bull bar and got this bull bar, which is basically the direct replacement. It's a winch compatible. It hasn't got the cradle, so I'll probably make a cradle up to mount my winch into there. The headlights out of the old girl will come into this because they're an upgraded LED light setup. I'll explain more of that in a later video. So that's kind of the engine bay. If we come to the body work, my wheels will go on, those wheels there will disappear. I'll keep these running boards, the alloy ones. Again, I'm trying to build this vehicle a bit lighter than the old one, so a lot of the metal work won't go in here. Now I've been doing a bit of work in here, so I've got all this stripped out a bit. That's purely because I was getting rid of some spotlights and some of the gear that was in the vehicle before, so that's why it's a bit of a mess in here. I've actually got the dash apart at the moment. The aircon wasn't working, so I've re-gassed the aircon. I do that myself at home. I've just bought the gear, like some gas and the gauges and stuff like that. The AC is not quite working yet. I know why, so I just need parts out of the old girl. Yeah, it's a bit messy in here. The seat's all a bit hair going there, but I'm going to put the Recaros out of the old girl into here. But you know, things like shutting these doors, they shut nice, because in my old one they do not. They do not shut nice at all. The fuel pump on this one died the other day. I think it's just been sitting around, so I had to change that out. That's why the back seats are out. So, you know, I've sort of been playing with it a little bit here and there, you know. Yeah, I went up the backyard and played with it. Took the flare off. I'm a goose. All right, that spare wheel carrier will go, because that's just the over bumper style, and I will put the Kamar rear bar on it, because that's just a really nice bar. It's good and solid. And yeah, that's it at the moment. It's still dirty. It needs a buff and a polish, which I will give it. That's what she is at the moment, and we're going to have a bunch of work to do to it. Yeah, it's a bit daunting, but anyway, enjoy the series of videos that are coming up and showing you how to build an 80 series pretty much on a budget. And there might be the occasional sponsor who wants to throw me some bits and pieces, but we'll talk about that as we go through the series. It's going to be interesting to see where we end up with this. So there you go. It's going to be an interesting build. I really don't know where we're going to end up with this one. It's just going to be a day at a time. But come on the journey with me, and let's see if we can turn let's see if we can build an 80 series, touring spec 80 series, for pretty much no money out of that 80 series over there. And we call this one COVID 80. I'm Mad Matt. Stay safe on the trails.